Good afternoon, everyone. In today's video, we are going to be looking at the next huge severe weather outbreak that's going to be very active across the central United States. We're going to start off the video here by looking at the Storm Prediction Center Day 5 outlook. So this is going to be Monday of next week. Today's Thursday, so this is going to be about 5 days out, or a little bit over, or around 4 or 5 days out. That's why it's called Day 5. As you can see, we have a large area of highlighted in yellow. It's a 15% chance for severe weather happening in Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, and Arkansas. Also for day 6, this is going to be Tuesday, a larger area, but pretty much the same exact area will be impacted for yet more severe weather for Tuesday. And then look at Wednesday, just a little slightly more east, but still another large area for severe weather. We're going to be discussing all of that in today's video. Now today we do in fact have another risk for severe weather, but not a big one. We only have a slight risk for severe storms today across portions of the East Coast, so in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. For the tornado risk, we have a small 5% chance for tornadoes, so tornadoes could be possible with some storms for threat today, but nothing really significant. As you can see, wind risk is up to a 15% chance for 60-mile-per-hour winds, and a 15% chance for quarter-sized hail. As you can see, we have a mesoscale discussion from the Storm Prediction Center. Scattered storms expected by 21Z, so it's going to be around 5 p.m. One or more watches will be likely be issued prior to 20Z, which is going to be around 4 p.m. So likely they're going to issue a severe thunderstorm watch for that area. Just kind of be weather aware throughout today if you do live around North Carolina, Virginia, and a very northeastern South Carolina. You will see some storms later today. Let's watch this next storm come in, but this is the current storm that's going on now, bringing rainfall to the East Coast. Again, thunderstorms for portions of North Carolina and Virginia. You're also seeing some snow up there in the Midwest for today as well. But let's move forward here. Let's move forward here throughout today. This is going to be 3 p.m. We are still seeing that rainfall, and this is going to go throughout the overnight hours. So again, heavy rainfall for the Northeast. And then it's going to get a little bit quiet. For Friday, we do have some rainfall across the Ohio Valley. But then it's going to be quiet for this weekend mainly. As you can see, we are seeing some snowfall there in the middle Atlantic and Northeast. Kind of some low pressure systems, so some very small low pressure systems going out throughout the northern plains. Look at that heavy snowfall there for Sunday into Monday for portions of around the Dakotas and the Minnesota area. Now, as we head throughout Tuesday, as you can see, this is going to be here for Monday. As you can see, we get to around 6 p.m. and we are starting to see some storms developing at around 6 p.m. Monday in Texas. We are seeing a lot of snowfall in the northwest, which means we are seeing a lot of activity with low pressure systems. That means that there is a very strong system coming here for the central plains that will bring a severe weather outbreak early next week. But again, let's look at here around 12 a.m. of Tuesday. We're kind of really not seeing many widespread storms. We're mainly just seeing a little pocket of storms across Texas for Monday. And then as we head into Tuesday here, look at those storms really developing across Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and look at how much snowfall is up there in the Midwest. Now also the northern central plains is going to see a lot of snowfall from this. Now this is going to be 12 a.m. of Wednesday. We are seeing a lot of storms there in the southern U.S. We're also seeing some stormy conditions surprisingly over here in Minnesota and Wisconsin. This may also be just strong rain showers, but there may even be some thunder snow up here in Minnesota. Definitely that is a very rare event, so you want to take advantage of that thunder snow and definitely take some video if you do hear some thunder snow. If you live in South Dakota, if you live in Minnesota, you may hear some thunder snow for Wednesday. Now look at these storms as they head to the northeast, and these storms just continue throughout the Ohio Valley across portions of Wednesday. You can see that line of storms around 9 p.m. of Wednesday across portions of the Ohio Valley, even reaching down into the south. I do think here for Thursday there's going to be yet another severe risk for that type of area, and then it should be getting quiet once again for late week. So it's going to be a very active pattern once again for the central plains for next week. And then as we head, this is going to be very far out here, but I think we're going to have another huge setup for the weekend after the weekend after next week. So as you can see, look at that major system potential here for the weekend after the severe weather outbreak for next week. It's going to be, I think, a crazy one, especially for next week. I don't think a lot of people are taking a look at this. This is over 200 hours out. So I'm not surprised that much people are looking at this, but I think there's going to be a quite the massive system there around the 17th. Let's look at the 500 millibar shear. This is, again, kind of winds very high up in the atmosphere. This is shear, so winds kind of crossing each other in the atmosphere, and that creates vorticity, which makes storms that can develop tornadoes. Now, this is going to be Wednesday at around 9 a.m. And as you can see, there is a massive dip. There's a massive dip with the sort of atmosphere, sort of the jet stream. And this is looking like one of those setups that can be very significant, but also very massive supercells that this system could develop here. This is one of those very massive central plane setups I think could have some very great potential. And this could even be reaching here into portions of the Ohio Valley and Midwest here for the 13th into the 14th. Honestly, for Monday and Tuesday, I don't really see much potential. Maybe for Tuesday, of course, across portions, you see kind of that shear there. But for Wednesday, you could see that dip in the jet stream that really appears there, makes a big appearance. I think for Wednesday is going to have a very large-scale threat across the Central Plains. So I think Wednesday is going to be the top of the main day for severe weather. Possibly into Thursday could have some also significant severe weather across the Ohio Valley. So we're really going to have to watch this. And as you can see, look at the weekend for Sunday. Next weekend is going to be quite crazy, I think. If this does verify, it's going to be another crazy severe weather outbreak that's going to be coming for the central U.S., southern U.S., and, you know, southeast, the Central Plains, Midwest. All of those areas are going to see a massive system, once again impacting the entire eastern half of the United States. Again, look at the super slug composite here for Tuesday around 6 p.m. This is on the GFS model, and look at these purples. You don't typically see this far out. You don't really typically see this high of parameters this far out in Kansas and Nebraska. This is probably going to be definitely a significant outbreak of tornadoes, possibly across portions of Kansas in Nebraska, especially with those type of supercell parameters. This could definitely very well be an extreme event happening for next week. You can see, take a sounding, and this shear is up to 48 knots on 3 kilometers at the surface. Effective inflow is up to 41 knots. Now, there is going to be some cap with this according to the sounding, and this is not really having much interference at all. There is going to be some cap in place. So I think this is really something to watch here. And the Storm Prediction Center, again, has highlighted these areas for a massive severe weather outbreak. There's going to be some cap in the area. So these storms are going to need to break this cap, which there's going to be a lot of cape. There's going to be 3,000 cape, and there's really not a lot of cap. So these storms can definitely break that cap in a very substantial amount of time. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a extremely large scale severe weather outbreak for next week. And look at this curve. You can see possible hazard type tornado. Look at this curve, guys. This is a very nice photograph that we are seeing here. There's a very nice curve with this, with also a little bit of the tail, but it's not really the best photograph I've ever seen. But that is definitely tornadic. This is a very tornadic sounding that we are looking at here for the Central Plains. Again, look how much cape is within the atmosphere. This is the energy that thunderstorms take up to develop. You need cape for thunderstorms to develop here. It's pretty much just fuel for thunderstorms. Now, as you can see, we are seeing upwards of 4,000 joules per kilogram. This is only April, and we're already seeing this much cape. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe even 7,000 joules per kilogram this summer. Last summer, we saw upwards of 8,000 joules per kilogram, I think, in July. So that was absolutely crazy. I think those storms were literally nuclear. Those storms were absolutely explosive with 8,000 cape. Look at this. As you can see, again, these storms will have enough energy to easily break the cap within the atmosphere up there in Kansas and Nebraska. This is definitely going to be quite the event here that we're going to continue to watch, and we don't have a bunch of close range details because this is still about a week out. So stay tuned for more details. I will have a lot more daily details that will be coming out, a lot more data coming in to these model runs, so we'll have a lot more confidence to forecast this severe weather. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. You won't miss a single update or live stream on this upcoming massive system or any other systems that, again, with this extreme weather this year. And also share this video with any friends or family that may want these types of daily weather forecasts, especially for this upcoming crazy severe weather outbreak. But as always, stay safe.